Hi there YouTube, Musical Library here. We are at Hamilton Island, looking over the top of the airfield. And I'll be walking down to the aeroplane. From up here, this is where the control tower is, up top of this big hill. And a fair way down there. So, we're flying...
Hi YouTube, Musical Library here.
There's me. Cool, with that out of the way. How are you going? It's 7 PM here in Melbourne on Friday, 20th of December 2019. The temperature is 44 degrees Celsius at this time of night. There's a bunch of bushfire smoke blowing down from New South Wales. And it's been an okay day because I've had today off. Downside of having today off means I'm working tomorrow on Saturday, 21st of December. So not much of a weekend before Christmas happens. We are streaming both onto YouTube, Facebook, and also Twitch. If you're on one of those other platforms, say hi. I do have chat enabled for both of those, and I can see you type. I'm going to head down to the level of the airfield here. So, I was going to go out Christmas shopping tonight, but then it's 44 degrees, so maybe not. 19 degrees tomorrow, but the shops will be busy as heck. And that's alright, I've got some gift cards here to gift card away to the people that I need to give gifts to. I would rather convert those gift cards into an actual gift, but I'm lazy this year. Getting lazier all the time. One thing I do like about the avatar mode here is you can just walk around weird parts of the airfield that you'd never consider flying to, as we're doing right now. How you doing, Jack Bowser? And Jack's goal wants to see me fly up to the top of the tower. I could do it in a helicopter maybe, but you know. Oh, the quality on Twitch is better. Strange. It's good having both options. That said, I usually get more people watching on YouTube anyway. YouTube tells me I get like double digits. Whereas Twitch is like, yeah, you had one person view. Yay. +1. Walk through the fence. Vroom. Hi there to Adam. On the good old book of face. And Nick, how you doing? Flying to Melbourne where it's 40 something or other degrees. I think it's 43 about now. It's horrendous. Alrighty, let's get these tie downs done. Actually, what I should do is open the door before we go there. Not quite as detailed as the air-to-air system, but kind of gets the job done, I suppose. Yeah, let's do a simulated version of the walk around. So flaps need to come down. And that's about all. Open that up, chuck on some landing lights. And a VU jack over in your Piper Tomo. How about that? Yep, landing light's good. I must have been a Diamond 40. I guess it's about the right size. Give or take. This is better than the 737 showing up. Piper Tomo. Alright, so with these aeroplanes, they're not air-to-air system. With the what they call AccuSim, so we can't do a proper walk around with the fuel drains and stuff. But jumping inside, we will probably see there that we have how many in each tank? Just under full tanks. Good. Let's talk about where we're going. Today we'll be taking off out of Hamilton Island, tracking pretty much towards the coastline, avoiding mountainous areas. The clouds today about 3,000 feet, according to the forecast here. So at Hamilton Island we have showers of light rain, scattered 3,000. Up in Townsville it's Cav OK with 2,500 clouds coming in later on. With that wind, what's it showing? 200? No, 120. Right, with 120 we'll be taking off with runway 14. So to get to runway 14, it's probably best to taxi all the way up to Alpha or Echo, and we don't need the backtrack. Just take off from there. Once airborne, we'll make ourselves out of this island, pretty much straight ahead and just turning left until we travel all the way around Hamilton Island, and shoot straight down towards Cannon Vale, along Ferdy Creek, and up to Bowen. From Bowen, we'll continue on up to Qantas 73, just landed. Up to the bay here, past overhead air, track to Giru, and then straight into Townsville. Hamilton Island, the CTAF is a 127.85. Alrighty, going to select the left tank today. Let's get some stuff turned on. Mixture coming up. Fuel pump is in. Primer's been pulled out a few times. Let's start an engine. Clear prop. I have filed a flight plan. You don't really need to, but I have anyway, just in case the controller shows up and wants to know what's going on. We'll be out of controlled airspace pretty soon, but we do start in potentially controlled airspace because the airfield does have a control tower. One, 2, double O. Cool, gonna use the counter. And although we have filed a flight plan, there's no real need to chuck it into the GPS unit. We're flying up the coastline. Where's that Qantas plane? Oh, there it is. Floating along. Must be using an X-plane or something. Alright, we've got 127.85. Should be 127.85, that's set. 22.8. Do want to monitor both radios. Yeah, the floating plane's probably X-plane. They tend to have weird heights of airports around the place. The real height should be 15 feet above sea level, which seems about right, comparing that to that. Maybe that's slightly less than 15, yeah. But certainly that's more. Anyhow, I'm happy to move out towards a runway. Pitot not required, collision light is in, everything else is on. Yeah, let's go. Parking brake is off. Leaning out the RPM, leaning out the mixture, I mean, about halfway. Just keeps all the lead out of the pistons. We'll stop here. Traffic Hamilton Island, Uniform Foxtrot Alpha is taxiing runway 14, Hamilton Island. Hamilton Island traffic, Uniform Foxtrot Alpha is taxiing runway 14, Hamilton Island. Alright, coming up on here, I do want to do a run-up. See if I can do that. Probably at the holding point there. There's the hold short bar. Out we go. 1800 RPM. Cut one magneto. Drops 100. Carby drops at about 25. Down to idle. Cool. Fuel pump is on. Takeoff checks. We've got all the lights in. Set to both. Our heading showing about 24. Maybe 5 off. Yeah, about there. About 24 in the direction of west. It is. Yep, I'm happy with that. Traffic, Hamilton Island. Uniform Foxtrot Alpha, Piper Tomahawk, entering at runway 14. Departure to this to the west. Traffic Hamilton Island, Uniform Foxtrot Alpha is a Piper Tomahawk, entering runway 14, departure to the west. Lights are on, nothing's coming down the approach. That's wrong. Never been in a Piper Tomahawk myself. Been in plenty of other Piper products. But yeah, haven't done a Tomo. I hear the old Tomahawk's a little bit traumatic when it comes to spins. That's right, we're good to go. Knots. All about 75-ish. And even though it's a low wing aeroplane, it actually flies like a Cessna 152. Yeah, fuel gauge indicators working in a light aeroplane is a bit of a hit and miss affair, really. You want to look inside the tanks before you take off to know how much is in it. Dipstick or nothing. Glad to see the weather's a little better than it was earlier in the day. Two new airlines? What are they? And why should I care? Are they Jetstar not going anywhere? Jetstar bus lines? Traffic Hamilton Island, Uniform Foxtrot Alpha, passing 1,000 feet on time, track and westbound. no dipstick for the Cirrus. It's a low wing aeroplane, you can just open them up and have a look inside. I'm not going to fly there now, that's dumb. Not to Sydney, that's Monday. Yeah, I saw the CRJ Pro. In fact, I now own the CRJ Pro, we might fly it on Sunday. ERJ I'm not really sure about yet, and Aaron Lawton with the checklist, fuel pump is now on. Thank you. There's 1,500. Continue around this island and then we'll head on west. Pull the mixture ever so slightly. Keep an eye on that. Okay, it doesn't matter. Taking a look at the counts, we'll continue on this fuel tank for half an hour and then we'll switch. Make a sharp turn westbound now. Should have actually flown in between the islands. Let's try and aim for that now. Without stalling the aeroplane. Yep, check fuel pressure. It's over there. Nice and in the green. Yeah, and CRJ with smooth nav tracking and also got the iPad on the window there. It actually works properly. Navigraph charts. Works better than the Aerosoft A330 one actually. So yeah, I'm hoping to get into the CRJ on Sunday. They've got an event over there at Minneapolis. Might be able to get to it. Probably parked at 2,500, no need to go any higher. Those clouds may be at 3,000. Yeah, not a bad little flight sim plane, this Tomahawk. A Tomahawk. Nice scenery here at Hamilton Island as well, got some hotels there. Jacko at 3,000. So I'm looking forward to flying the CRJ. I actually haven't flown it yet at all. So I probably should have a look at it tomorrow after I come home from work. Forecast in Melbourne shows 19 degrees tomorrow. $19 certainly nicer than the 43. Myself, I'm not really that much of a fan of the CRJ, but hey, it's a good looking aeroplane, so might as well use it. We got the nice discount price because we own the old one, so yeah, log into the store, buy it for something like half price. Wasn't too bad. I think I'll do the same for the ERJ. Just not sure I really want the ERJ yet. I'll think about it. Lachlan Boyd, how are you doing? Flight's doing okay so far. We've just taken off. Got a little bit of turbulence coming off these hills. Just bouncing the aeroplane around a bit. We're making a good speed of about 105 knots. H1008. Let's have a look at what it is over there in Townsville. Yeah, 1010. Still inside the Hampton Island area, which is... Oh, it's missing 1012 now. Okay. I know that is 1012. Cool. Drop it down to 1011 while we come inland, and then probably 10 miles out from Townsville we will switch down to 1010. Not really the best aircraft for this kind of cross-country stuff for Tomo. 2 seats, nothing in the back there. Maximum baggage is 100 pounds. Okay, most of those bumps are over. Probably get some more as we approach the coastline, especially up there towards the mountains. Transponders on. Now, of course, this airplane has no autopilot to speak of. It's just trim wheels right there. Call up and round it up, draw for a second. So yeah, every bit of turbulence will knock us around a bit. But for the moment, it's pretty well in trim. This will never slightly to the left, so we'll want to keep on burning the left tank a bit more. It's because I'm sitting in the left-hand seat, a bit heavier. I'll pull the aeroplane off towards it. Controls are about neutral now. Take hands off. Just tap the controls every once in a while. Kind of meander off into the right direction. No, milk run is just going to be a normal milk run. You know, it's like the 23rd. I should probably ask for suggestion for the last milk run, which will be the 30th. The milk run between Christmas and New Year's. Will we even bother having one? Or we just make it Melbourne to Sydney, make it low effort? Will everybody be off and we can do a long haul somewhere? City to Perth? Or should we fly to Christmas Island, or what do you reckon? Cut across this bay. Yeah, it's that one there. Yeah, we could head inland. Let's do it, let's go inland. want to go that far inland. Let's stick to the coastline and go through that gap there. This one is not normally a spilled milk run. Spilled milk run is normally end of the month, 30th. I certainly haven't prepared anything. Cessna 172. General aviation, Melbourne to Sydney. Bring your smallest planes. Sydney to Melbourne in 4 hours. Well, the next one is the end of the year, the 30th. Not the very next one, that's the 23rd. So the 23rd, and then the last one, I reckon I'll do a poll. Possibly on the vatsim, vatpack poll on the forum. Probably should do it today, tomorrow, sometime during the weekend. Hey, where do people want to go? Give you 4 options. Just Melbourne to Sydney, thanks. Nowhere, let's just not go anywhere. Sydney to Perth, and Christmas Island. That'll be the usual. That's the 4 that I'm proposing. If you reckon there should be another place to go, I'm happy to listen. Or just fly to Sydney and watch all the fires. Fly in your 4-kilometre visibility. Zuby Cookie. Yes, 43 degrees today in Melbourne. Lots of bushfire smoke coming down from New South Wales. Not a pleasant day to be outside at all, which is why I haven't been. Didn't even have to go to work today. I woke up, poked my head outside, and I went, nah. No, I stayed there, but inside the whole time. Yeah, air tankers on the fire front. It's quite tough to do though in flight sim because you need add-ons and stuff to make it make sense. Otherwise, you're just flying around hills in bad visibility. I should get a helicopter. Probably fly it on the tour at some point. Maybe around Melbourne. Because at the Flight Sim, Oz Flight Sim con in November, they had the Navy guys there with the helicopter simulators, with the big chunky pole sticks and the VR headsets, and that was pretty fun. That was surprisingly fun. I haven't flown a helicopter on Flight Sim for a very, very long time. Maybe it took me 2 landings and I was pretty much going, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go inland of that hill and we'll track around the bay. We're outside controlled airspace now. Not that we're over inside controlled airspace because it's seats out. Outside of ours. Townsville, here we come. Can't see me still? Look for that big hill. And the bay beyond it. I can see you on my 500 feet above. TKS AD. Oh, you're still a fair way behind me. Oh, look at that. Forgot to look outside the horizon. We ended up nose down 30 degrees off to the left there. Fun. This turbulence is annoying. Bouncing us around. They're behind me, so of course I can't see behind myself. I can see you on TCAD. ADS-B in on a Piper Tomahawk, imagine that. Talk about slightly over-engineered. Vatsim's not really set up for formation flying because your position will be about 2 to 5 seconds behind where you actually are. So you might think that you're in front of me and I'll actually see you behind me. One of those funny things. Is that a rice farm? Looks like it. Random flooded square cultivated area. It's got to be rice. Those of you on the other platforms, I've got Jack Bauer hanging out just behind us. With all this turbulence about, I can't really concentrate on keeping my wings level. Sugarcane? I don't think sugarcane needs all that much water. Sugarcane grows on like the ground, doesn't it? You kind of burn it to harvest, I think. They have little trains that often go through the sugarcane fields and slash and burn. I'm going to go with that being rice. It's kind of set up that you'd have for rice. You can see that kind of stuff all over Asia and the Pacific Islands. We are in the tropics, so plenty of rain up here. Next weekend, is it next weekend or it might be the one after, but Frankfurt to New York event is on the calendar. I'm not sure if it'll be particularly successful with lots of air traffic control, but I might have a look at getting on that. We've got Christmas Day coming up as well, not too far off. So I think it might be worth looking at my calendar and seeing what I can do with it. while we're here, flying the long distance in a slow plane. So there's a Hong Kong event tomorrow night about 9 o'clock. I'm working tomorrow, but I'll be home by about 5-6 p.m. Whether I get to Hong Kong or not, we'll see. Probably not. I do need to probably practice the CRJ because I've literally never flown it before, and I'll need to set some things up. FSUI PC profiles, that kind of thing. So I'll probably need to do that tomorrow night. 11 a.m. tomorrow morning they have an event in the USA for Minneapolis, and Minneapolis is pretty close to Chicago, and there happen to be a lot of CRJ 900 and 700 routes between those two. Milk run on the 23rd, which is next Monday, and I'm thinking I might bring out the A330 again and do a single leg of it. Christmas Eve I'm working, Christmas Day I'm not working. I've also got no family around this Christmas Day, so assuming that everything that had to happen on the 24th is okay and I'm not a social outcast by then, I may or may not be around for most of Christmas Day. If I am, I'm considering flying to Antarctica in the 747. Around Antarctica, not to Antarctica, but over it. I'll just need to make sure that I have my Aerosoft scenery for that, like Antarctica scenery, loaded up. And it's Boxing Day. Don't know what I'll do on Boxing Day either. Maybe nothing. Oh, I do what I need to do on Boxing Day, and that's fix a tap that has been dripping on and off. At the moment it's off, but it's hard to turn off. So I think I'll rip it out and replace that. So that'll be the project for Thursday. And then on Saturday 28th we have Honolulu on vatsim. And if any luck we can maybe get a Los Angeles to Honolulu. Something like that. And then that day is also the Frankfurt to JFK. No promised oceanic control, and that's my worry. We might take off from Frankfurt, fly straight through Europe, and then just hit nothing. At which point, what's the point in continuing? But we'll see. We'll see how I feel at 11 p.m. on Saturday the 28th. Might do all-nighter, might not. Might go to bed. Then we've got the 30th milk run. That's the last milk run of the year. And then after that, I'm going to Sydney for 4 or 5 days. So I won't be around. Yeah, like when a less important across the pond, where attendance of air traffic control might be a bit spotty. It's like, welcome to Canada. Please contact Unicom on 122.8. Bye. But it might be a nice practice to get that A330 across the pond, although I'd rather fly the 747-8. YBWN. Oh, that's Boeing. That snuck up on us pretty quick. I don't even see a CTAP frequency on Boeing. It's a nothing. right, cool, never mind. We've reached the end of the VTC. Clearly that's the township we're going. Where's the little airfield? No idea. Might be just a dirt field, grass field. How long will we find? 28 minutes, 29 minutes. It's about time to swap fuel tanks. Fuel pump goes on. Home of the giant mango. Okay, on the right hand side fuel pressure looks good to me. Fuel pump goes off. Pressure looks good to me still. Below me? Alright. Yeah, I did fly pretty much straight to it, so low and slightly behind I guess now. Can't see nothing. Alrighty, we'll turn back west and head up the coast. The clouds there are probably about 3,000 feet, maybe 3,500. Here we are, running along at, what's that, 110 knots-ish? Nah, it's 105. What a disappointing airplane. 105 knots at maximum power. Lachlan Boyd, I'm not sure if you are aware of this, but there's an event that we do every year where we pack into an aircraft into a single airport. We call it World Flight, and we do it 45 times. And sometimes it's completely ridiculous. 747s at airports that generally only take 2 or 3 737s in their schedule at a time. You get like 50 aeroplanes arriving, and half of them are 747s. Park on the grass, park on the taxiways, taxi on the grass, no backtrack. Jack in a Diamond 40. Sitting there with like another 100 knots on your ASI. Pull them back to like whatever RPM you're at. Here we are, we can't get the throttle to move any further forward. We're at 2500 RPM, doing a little under 110 knots. Not quite 110, trying to get there. Dutch P3D pilot, how are you doing? How is the Netherlands at this time of year? Indeed. landing into Schiphol. What part of the Netherlands are you from, Dutch pilot? I have a old crush of mine that lives at the Rotterdam. Den Haag, actually. The Hague, same as Den Haag. An old Australian girl, violinist. She went and built a career for herself over in Europe. She got married about last month sometime. Keep seeing all the photos in Instagram. Over Jack, yeah, I heard your traffic alarm 500 feet above me. Going straight over the top, we'll stay tracking towards that hill. That green patch. Just felt some kind of bump. I'm not sure if that was a wake turbulence or if it was just a bump. And they're from FLAi, France. Sorry for the Australian butchering of your language. Sorry for the Australian butchering of the English language. I'm sure I'm doing a bit of that as well. So, Inspector, how are you doing down in NZ? Hope you're not getting too much of the Australian smoke. Probably are. We are. We're getting sick of it. In some cases, literally, actually sick of all the smoke, of the bushfires. Which has been blasting smoke at us for the last 2 months, or even 3 months. I've never had this long a period of time with the visibility never exceeding about 9 kilometres from bushfire smoke. It's almost like the ATIS now permanently has the permanent picture of FUSK. Go a bit faster. Good stuff. A US tour. I have to get all the way around Australia before FS 2020 comes, so I'll have to do a lap 2 of FS 20. FS 2020. Yeah, with any luck we can get all the way around before the end of the year. Probably have to pick up my pace a bit. I'll have to abandon the old Tomahawk and get something a bit quicker. Yeah, outside I can't just smell smoke, I can see it at the moment today. Melbourne got a lot of Sydney's, well, New South Wales smoke today because of the wind shifting from the north. That's why it was 45 degrees Celsius. Just horrendous. I think we broke some records today for the highest temperature in Melbourne. So massively high temperature, very, very smoky. You can't see the city at the moment from my house, which I normally can if I go out my backyard and just look south. There's Melbourne City, and at the moment I just see there's smoky haze. It's kind of brown orangey haze. It's pretty bad. And yeah, my eyes are really like stinging at the moment. The whole shebang. I've been on antihistamines all day. It's just not cool. The A62 is a very nice, solid, quite a quick aeroplane as well. 160 knots or so. I did enjoy flying it. I've done a couple of legs back in central Queensland, over the desert. out to Birdsville. These couple of legs in the Tomahawk, and then we'll probably switch over to something a little bit quicker, just to make our way up to the top of Queensland. Then I'll need something a little bit smaller and with very slow approach speeds, probably with a high wing to get into the islands up in the Torres Strait. Torres Strait is a very interesting culture if you go up there. The Aborigine natives of Torres Strait Islanders. Very different culture compared to the Australian mainland Aborigines. Particularly with the way that they used to bequeath land to each other. Probably talk about it once we're up there. Hopefully we'll get up there sometime early next year. No, someone was talking about the 62. Yeah, the A62. The twin engine diesel plane. And you put jet A1 in. It's a 5-6 seater, something like that. 7-seater. 7-seater is in the Americas, and it's only a 5-seater when it's in Europe. The DA62. Did you know about that? Dutch pilot, the DA62 has 2 different certifications, and in America they're certified to carry 7 seats, but in Europe they're only certified to carry 5. Ultralight. Now the Torres Strait, I'm thinking of doing the Cessna 182, or it might be the 172. Depends on a few factors, but I'd like to do it in the 182. Or a helicopter even, but that's a bit of a cop out. I'm researching on which helicopter to use in P3D. Yeah, apparently in Europe you have to pay like twice as much for the certification for a 7-seater airplane. So they're like, well, stuff that, we'll just take 2 seats out and we won't have to pay as much to fly this airplane in your country anymore. So yeah, it's hilarious. Europeans are like, yeah, if you want to make it a 7-seater airplane, that technically goes over the limit of how many kilograms a light airplane's allowed to be. So it stops being a light airplane and starts being a small airline. And so Diamond Aviation's like, yeah, we'll just take 2 seats out, we'll be fine. Yeah, it's not the landing cost, it's some kind of certification process for the actual manufacturer. For the manufacturer to certify it a certain way, they needed to have a certain weight, and they achieved that certain weight by taking 2 seats out of the DA62. Whereas in the Americas it's like, nah, whatever, it's fine. Plug another 2 seats in, go for it. Look it up if you don't believe me. Diamond DA62, I think it's 5-seater versus 7-seater. You'll find that the 7-seater is an American product. Coming up on Jack there. Oh, there's Jack. How you doing? He's up at 3,000. I'm down at 2.5. like how we're thrashing this Tomahawk. It's like maximum everything, go, go, go. I do need to properly lean it out a little bit. Unfortunately, this aeroplane doesn't actually have an EGT gauge, so we can't tell. All you do is keep on pulling back that mixture until the engine starts running rough, and then you give it back a bit more. It's not quite rough yet. Oh, there it is. Just lost 20 RPM. Alright, I think we're back in. We're as leaned as we can be. Okay, the next legs of this tour, I'm thinking of hitting Lizard Island. I'm not even sure if there's scenery there, but we'll fly over the island at least. I'll check if there's scenery there over the next week or two. And straight up to Mariba, which is just inland of Cairns. Very nice airport up there, pretty wet. I think it's part of OZX. Let me double check that. After Mariba we'll go to Cairns, and then from Cairns we need to do a fairly long flight. I'm thinking Cooktown, although I'm not 100% sure of the quality of the scenery at Cooktown. I'll just need to double check that again. And by that time it'll be like January, quite into January. And with any luck we can do a public holiday for the Torres Strait. Probably Australia Day. With any luck it'll be Australia Day. I'm just worried that sometime in January, I think we've got a Friday night ops from America visiting Australia. Haven't heard anything about it yet, but I think that's when they normally do it. Might be a bit later in the year. I do like these beaches, they're very nice. Of course, up here in the tropical north, we do have the issue of occasional cyclones that come through, so the faster we get out of Queensland, the better. At least out of this part of Queensland. Once we get down to Mount Isa, we'll be fine. Ah, that's the thing I need to check. Lizard Island, does it have a normal runway, or can we modify it so that it doesn't have major issues, or do we have to skip it? Say, there it is with the massive cliffs all over the runway that we can't land on. Bye. Yeah, that's the downside of this tour. We do need to check all the scenery as we go, because a lot of the scenery was designed for FTX version 1 and we're flying with FTX version 2. We've already lost an airport in the way. Remember when we flew down to Kulpi, I was intending to stop off at an airfield along the way, and when we got there, the aeroplane descended through the runway. Had to go around. Had to go around from negative 20 feet. Cool. Gotcha there, 2700. I'll stay at 25. Ah, you're descending with the cloud. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, that's how the cloud's at 3000. Need to kind of check where I am, don't I? Past that. Alright, Air would be the next major town. From Air we want to kind of track towards Giru. We don't need to follow the dotted line because that's the bypass. So if you're not stopping at Townsville, you fly the dotted line straight over the airfield. But we actually want to land at Townsville today. Yep, I certainly have seen the new Flight Simulator 2020. Hasn't been released yet, so probably got another year before it is. And with any luck, I'll be able to make it all the way around Australia on this tour, and then we'll get a new Flight Simulator, so I'll do it all the way around. Again, second lap. Maybe backwards lap. So I've done it kind of anti-clockwise. We might do another tour that's clockwise. Oh, GA flights are easy, especially when it's outside controlled airspace like this. You just keep on flying, keep on going, go where you're intending to go. Don't need to talk to any controllers. Just need to not get lost. And in an aeroplane like this, you have to keep on holding your yoke because it doesn't have an autopilot. And if you're not doing it, it's not being done. Nice river. Check where that river is. Ah, that'll be that one there. Burdekin River. Pretty sure it's Burdekin. Tracking almost north, so we're crossing Burdekin, yeah, that direction. Cool. Air would be almost west of us. There we go. See, it's on the GPS. I should have just read that. UOA is going down. Ah, you're avoiding the step. Cool. Good stuff. 8,500 at the moment. Is fine. I'm actually going to kind of creep up to 3,000-ish. And we'll check if we can find air. There it is. Cool. No need to contour fly the coastline. We'll just kind of take a bit of shortcut. Oh, I've already done Sydney. That's way back, months ago. So we're doing a full tour around Australia. We departed Essendon in Melbourne, flew straight up to Mount Hotham, went down to the coastline of Victoria at Lakes Entrance. Is it Lakes Entrance? Yeah, Lakes Entrance. What frequency? I'm currently on 122.8, but I'm happy to go over to any frequency that you like. Actually, you're not flying with me. Cool, never mind. 122.8 on the Unicom. That's a vatsimism. If I was flying in real life, it would be on 119.85, but not talking to anyone, just listening. In fact, I'd be on 126.6, 126.8, sorry. Only during the tower hours. So if it was outside tower hours, it'd be 1985, but if it was in the middle of the day, it'd be 126.8. We're kind of above air. The airspace here starts from air at 8,500, so we're down at 2,600 at the moment. We don't need to talk to anyone. if we maintain that speed, we'd need to talk to someone before we hit this CLL 2500 airspace, and that's at 18 miles away from Townsville. So you tune up your radio, and once you got to, I'd say 20, maybe 25 miles away from Townsville, you tell them where you are. And with any luck, you'd be at Giru, saying we are call sign at Giru 2500 inbound Townsville, information aid us. And at that point, they'll give you some directions. Jack's talking about runways. Let's have a look. Runway 1. Wind is 060 at 17 knots. Yep, runway 01 sounds correct to me. So, on landing at runway 01, we'll take one of our exits to the right hand side, probably Echo 1 or Charlie, and taxi straight in via Foxtrot into the gates there. Home Hill, eh? Thanks for that, David. That's a bit before my time. 1989. But yep, I can see that massive hill coming up ahead. Most recent, not really recent, but one of the bigger cyclones that I remember was the one that happened, well, one that hit Ian, a bit further north of here, going towards Cairns. Can't even remember what year it was. But I think Howard was still Prime Minister back then, so who knows? Just a vague memory. Township of Ayr, A-Y-R, Ayr. Where's that Diamond DA-40? Wow, the same altitude. There it is. Got it. Cool. I'm off to his, in front of him, so he can see me easier than me peering over my shoulder. I think we flew in during winter, yeah, so it would have been white. There should be a link to the playlist of all of the flights I've done from the tour so far. I think we're up to, what leg are we up to now? Oh, I can't remember. I'll have a look. What leg are we up to? 40 something? It's a massive tour. We're up to leg 33. So this is 33 legs into the tour. And we haven't even left the east coast yet. We're still travelling north. (2014). Yeah. Okay, we're living in Melbourne then. Yeah, you can't sleep in one of these aeroplanes, otherwise it will crash. If you take your hands off the wheel for a while, it'll just keep doing whatever it was doing. Like at the moment it's climbing, like starting to pitch up. And unless I push the aeroplane down, it'll continue to pitch up. It's also turning off to the right. And it'll keep doing that till it's, in a 50-degree bank and descending again. That's why I like airliners. Yeah, that's fair enough. Because the autopilots work and kind of exist and stuff. But the good thing about slow and low like this is you get to see all the scenery really up close. Kicks ass in the 787 to Perth. Nice. If that's an Air New Zealand to Perth, it's probably from Auckland. Well, they could have surprised us and taken in from Christchurch. Yeah, Diamond DA40 autopilot. Some of the GA autopilots are pretty good actually. Some of them, not all of them. I think the autopilot on the Cessna 182 is not too bad. And the one on the Piper Cherokee is pretty trash. Even the Comanche wasn't all that good. At least you could maintain an altitude, but you wouldn't be able to fly an approach on it, for instance. No such thing as an ILS approach via the autopilot on a Comanche. Can't fly the glide slope. Because the autopilot's only capable of maintaining an altitude, not actually achieving one. Done in 50. Is that a thing? I didn't know a DA50 was an aircraft type. It is. Alright. Oh, it's a retractable gear. That's nice. It's like a DA60 single engine variant. Yeah. Cool. I like it. Yeah. DA50 for the win. But the MCAS is not an autopilot. MCAS is the equivalent of fly-by-wire, flight protection. In fact, the MCAS doesn't function when the autopilot is turned on. Who knows? At this stage there might not be a 737 MAX 8 for, you know, planet Earth. They're all still grounded 9 months later. Don't we stop making them for the time being because they've run out of space and they can't spend the money? Yeah. Good going. I don't think anybody would be developing a MAX 8 in flight sim until well after this. If and when they come back to flying status. Give the flight sim nerds a couple of years. I'm thinking BeamDG would want it to have made one, but after the issues and the grounding, I'm probably going to pull off on that for a little while. Because you know what will happen when they release it, don't you? You'll just get a whole ton of YouTube videos of people doing that. And they don't really want that. A350 would be a good product. Wouldn't mind one of them. Let's set up our frequency for Townsville. CTAF 118.3. Set. Don't worry about the max bit. My parents are a bit dubious of 737-800s these days. All they hear is like the max crashes, pickle fork cracks. With any luck, anybody gets 2020's X-Plane, 2020, P3D. Get PMDG on the case. Or even better, FS Labs. I know FS Labs in the whole malware problem, but, you know, they still make good planes. Just don't pirate them. They'll be good. Unless you get backdoor exploit hacked by the malware. That'd be great. It's like all of our legitimate customers are now compromised in their internet security and are likely to get hacked by the Russian mafia. Ah, Greta. It's like, yeah, climate change, blah, 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 but I still like jumping in an aeroplane every once in a while. I'm not going to give up flying aeroplanes anytime soon. Sorry. It's like, yeah, climate protests, cool, and I'll just head down to the airport and fly a Cessna now. That'll be great. I find it weird that the PMDG 737 NGXU keeps breaking my GSX. I've done the updates for GSX, and that's still every once in a while it's like, yeah, you know about that GSX thing with NGXU? Good luck. I'm just going to break now. We're heading for there. That's Mount Elliott, just off to our left. That big old thing there. So Nome should be just about here. Yeah, the NGX is good. Although I do like the NGXU's little iPad, and the fact that the sound doesn't cut out every time that I open another window. That is, that's almost worth the price of admission. Almost. There's Alligator Creek. Pretty much, yeah. Zoom in a touch here. Essentially I need to get off the VFR route down to Nome and call in before Nome, which is pretty close. Is that Nome there? I think it is. Yep. Traffic Townsville. Uniform Foxtrot Alpha is a Piper Tomahawk. Tracking in from the south via Nome. 2300 inbound for runway 01. Traffic Townsville. We'll join on a right-hand base. Yeah, we got the straight in. It's a bit rude, but you know. Alright, question to you guys. Do you want a right-hand base straight into runway 01, or do you want me to fly over the field and do a full left-hand, left-hand, left-hand? Because without air traffic control, we could do either one. And if we had air traffic control here, they'd probably get us to do the right-hand base straight in. Probably. I think it's only worth doing long-haul flights if there's air traffic control guaranteed for the entire flight, which means you have to do it during an event, such as across the pond. Which is why I tend to do it about twice a year. If I'm flying a long haul without any air traffic control for the oceanic sector, then there's no point. Right, we're now 10-11 minutes. I've got to swap fuel tanks again. Fuel pump is on. Count to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, swap the tank. Fuel pressure is in the green, it hasn't moved. And we'll switch that pump off. Keep an eye on the fuel. And I'd say we're good. 2000. There's Magnetic Island over there. And VH-UFA, yep, I'll do that. Tiny little bit of restricted space, yeah, out there. So you pop in from the Sun Zinc refinery straight across to the river, and I'll probably shoot it in from the river. Speaking of the river, there it is. There's the railway bridge and the road bridge crossing. Cool. Refinery in sight. Traffic Townsville, Uniform Foxtrot Alpha is a beam Sun Zinc refinery. Inbound runway 01 will enter from right hand base, final runway 01. Townsville traffic. Back out toward the river. Carburet heats in. Traffic Townsville, Uniform Foxtrot Alpha turning base, right base, runway 01. Mixture fully rich, brakes are released, undercarriage is fixed, mixture is fully rich, pump is on for landing. Way high. Dump all the flap. Should come in at 1,000 feet, not 2,000. Traffic Townsville, Uniform Foxtrot Alpha, final runway 01.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
At 65. Flaps full. Don't know, crosswind. Feels like all crosswind. Going around. Wasn't ready for that crosswind. Traffic Townsville, Uniform Foxtrot Alpha going out. .500 feet. one more attempt on runway 01. I might actually want to do it with flaps stage 2. The full flap's too much. Traffic Townsville, uniform Foxtrot Alpha, downwind runway 01. Okay, brakes released, undercarriage is fixed, mixture fully rich, pump is on. Instrument is set, seats harnesses us. There is another runway we can use if we need it. But if we take a faster approach, hopefully the crosswind won't get us so much. All the way to the hill. Yeah, the hill looks about right. About there, that's fine. Carburetor heatsink. Stage 1 flap. And we'll take stage 2 and that's all we get. Traffic Townsville, uniform Foxtrot Delta, turning final runway 01. Knots again, get some power. 65, so we want a little bit of turbulence on there and a bunch of crosswind. That carries an extra speed in fact. Make it 70. Knots, a little bit over the crosswind limit, I think. It's only 50 degrees off the center. That's 16 knots of it. Totally flying sideways right now. Right, let's flare it and kick it around. Oh yeah. Almost ran out of runway. Traffic Townsville, uniform Foxtrot Alpha, Vaco 01. Flap retracted, and we are much further in than expected. We need to turn right. No, left. There we go. Left up Alpha 4, right onto Foxtrot. Could have gone on 07, I suppose.
Traffic.
Bay Systems. Alrighty, push it up to the fence, and when we get prepared to push the aeroplane back in a little while, we'll just push it out. Thousand RPM, parking brake set. Now listen very carefully. When I turn the battery switches off, you'll hear the gyroscope start to spin down. Amazing sound. Love it. And I push that door open again. And there we go. Let's jump on out. There you are. Good stuff. The tie down's already in. Saying, oh, the pilot's gotten out. Tie down's on. Alrighty, here we are in Townsville. I'm not sure when the tour will continue. It might be Boxing Day, in fact. We'll be heading up towards Mariba, just inland of Cairns. Bit of a longer flight up to Mariba. than tonight's flight was, so I might take something a little bit quicker than this. I'll consider it, see what we fly. But yep, probably on Boxing Day we'll leave Townsville and head on up. Before that though, I'm working tomorrow, so no Friday night operations, unfortunately. I believe they're doing a Canada event. After that is I'll probably be flying the CRJ on Sunday. Milk Run Monday will probably be another revisit of the A330, and then it'll be Christmas. It's encroaching on us pretty quick. Anyhow, I have been a musical aviator. I do hope you've enjoyed the flight at Townsville today. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the sky. Ciao for now.